Chapter 1. The Beautiful Girl Anna. First step. Do you believe in magic? Have you ever seen a fairy or a dwarf? Imagine a fairy comes to you and offers you your favorite toys. How will you react? Take your choice. You will accept the gifts. You will refuse the gifts and call your mother immediately. You will ask for another wish to be fulfilled. Read and follow. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl, Anna. She was extremely beautiful, but she was always sad and unhappy because her mother had died. Her father had married another woman, a widow with 2 daughters. Her stepmother didn't like Anna at all. She loved her own daughters, gave them everything they desired, and showered lots of blessings too. But there was nothing for Anna. Neither yummy dishes nor beautiful dresses, but scrap. Every comfort, necessity and leisure was far away from her. She had to work hard all day. She was allowed to sit and relax only in the evening. Anna used to spend long hours all alone, talking to her cat. Anna is sitting alone. Cat. Meow. Which really meant cheer up. You have something that neither of your stepsisters has, and this is beauty. It was quite true. Anna, dressed in rags, with a dusty grey face from the cinders, but looked still lovelier in her dirty clothes. While her stepsisters, no matter how splendid and elegant their clothes were, they still looked clumsy, lumsy and ugly. One day, a ball was to be held at the court, and the stepsisters were getting ready for it. So beautiful new dresses arrived at the house. Anna didn't even dare to ask, "What about me?" For she knew well what would be the answer. "You, my dear girl, you staying at home to wash the dishes, scrub the floors and turn down the beds for your stepsisters. They will come home tired and extremely sleepy," said her stepmother. Anna, "Oh dear, I'm feeling really depressed," Cat murmured. Meow. Suddenly, something amazing happened. In the kitchen, where Anna was sitting all by herself, there was a burst of light and a fairy appeared. "Don't be alarmed, Anna. I know you would love to go to the ball, and so you shall." Anna, "How can I? Dressed in rags? The servants will turn me away." The fairy smiled, and with a flick of a magic wand, Anna found herself wearing the most beautiful dress, the loveliest ever seen in the realm. "Now that we have settled the matter of the dress, we'll need to get you a couch. A real lady would never go to a ball on foot. Quick, get me a pumpkin," she ordered. Anna, "Oh, of course," rushing away. Then the fairy turned to the cat. Cat, "You bring me 7 mice." Cat, "7 mice? I didn't know fairies ate mice too." Fairy, "They're not for eating, silly. Do as you have been told to, and remember, they must be alive." Anna soon returned with a fine pumpkin, and the cat with 7 mice it had caught in the cellar. Fairy, "Good." With a flick of her magic wand, wonder of wonders, the pumpkin turned into a sparkling coach, and the mice became 6 horses, and the 7th mouse turned into a coachman in a smart uniform and carrying a whip. Anna could hardly believe her eyes. I shall present you at the court. You will soon see that the prince in whose honor the ball is being held will be enchanted by your loveliness. But remember, you must leave the ball at midnight and come home, for that is when the spell ends. Your couch will turn back into a pumpkin, the horses will become mice again, and the couchman will turn back into a mouse. You will be dressed again in rags and wearing clogs instead of these dainty little slippers. Do you understand, Anna? Yes, I understand. When Anna entered ballroom in the palace, hush spread around. Everyone stopped in the mid-sentence to admire her elegance, her beauty and grace. What a beautiful girl! People, who can that be? The two stepsisters also wondered who the newcomer was. They can never guess that the beautiful girl was really poor Anna, who talked to the cat. When the prince set his eyes on Anna, her beauty struck him. Walking over to her, he bowed deeply and asked her to dance. And to the great disappointment of all the young women, he danced with Anna for the rest of the evening. Prince and Anna were dancing. Prince, who are you, fair maiden? The prince kept asking her repeatedly. Anna, how does it matter who I am? You will never see me again anyway. Prince, oh, but I shall. I'm quite certain, he replied. Anna had a wonderful time at the ball, but all of a sudden she heard the sound of a clock, the first stroke of midnight. She remembered what the fairy had said, and without a word of goodbye, she slipped from the prince's arms and ran down the steps. As she ran fast, she lost one of her slippers, but not for a moment did she dream of stopping to pick it up. If the last stroke of midnight were to sound, oh, what a disaster that would be! Out she fled and vanished into the night. Anna ran with one slipper in her hand. The prince, who was now madly in love with her, picked up her other slipper. Prince, with one slipper of his beloved, followed the girl out of the palace. Prince, ministers, go and search everywhere for the girl whose foot fits the slipper. I will never be content until I find her. Therefore, the ministers tried the slippers on every girl's foot, in and around the kingdom, and as soon as they tried it on Anna's foot, surprise, the slipper fitted perfectly. Stepmother, the awful untidy girl simply couldn't be at the ball. Tell the prince he ought to marry one of my two daughters. Can't you see how ugly Anna is? Can't you see? Suddenly she broke off, for the fairy had appeared. A fairy appeared suddenly. Fairy, that's enough. She raised her magic wand. In a flash, Anna appeared in a splendid dress, shining with youth and beauty. Her stepmother and stepsisters gaped at her in amazement. A fairy made Anna beautiful with her magic wand. Ministers, come with us. Fair maiden, the prince is waiting to present you with his engagement ring. So Anna joyfully went with them and lived happily ever after with her prince. Cat. Meow. Teacher's note. Subject enrichment. Motivate students to treat everyone equally. Through people will discriminate. We must learn to love everyone.